egregore machine, right? Family is an egregore machine, and they always tell you you have to find your perfect second part. There's no second part, you're whole, you know? And if you don't feel like getting married, just don't.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe your soul tells you you're whole already, and it's the truth, and the family structure is created to irritate you. Most marriages fall apart. I mean, why is that? Because
Right.
it's created it for this reason, to destroy you, to slow you down in your progression of evolutionary understanding of things, thus raising your consciousness. You know, but you can look at it different. So some people think, well, I shouldn't be having kids because they will just, it will create karma, and I'll stay here, I won't leave. Okay, well, what you believe in, you create. If you
Absolutely.
kids are your anchors to the matrix, you'll be stuck. I believe that I can go anytime I want and nobody can stop me. But that's also my character. I mean, I'm just,
That's what I believe too, you know. So, but you know, like some people have this out of body experiences. I don't have that.
yes, too, yeah. It's just like you shot out of body, you look at yourself lying down, and all of a sudden. But you know when that mostly happens to me? But when I started happening to me when I started going through stressful situations in the family. So it's like extreme stress. For some reason in me, extreme stress creates opening of my abilities. But that's true for me. It doesn't mean that it's true for you.
I
Okay.
went through my fair share of stresses as a child. You know, I had a very, very abusive stepfather. So I don't recall having any abilities back then, you know, other than kind of fearing him, didn't want to come home, you know. I'm not going to burden you with that.
Mm.
So apparently this is the trauma that I need to heal. I mean, I'm seeing this psychotherapist that I'm gonna stop because we are not getting nowhere near. I don't need to have nice conversations and pay for it, you know. I mean, it's you know, I really want to progress. So tell me, can you tell where I am from? Where,
Well,
because I think everybody's from somewhere, right? Here on planet
well,
Earth.
well, you've had lives on Andromeda. That's what first thing pops in my head. And secondary, the people you talk to, that's a psychoanalyst or whatever he is or she is, come from the system. It connects you more to the system, ingrains you more. All you have to do is to understand, well, there was matrix created for you for the childhood to, you know, to fracture your mental emotional body. All you have to imagine is see your mental emotional bodies when you relax, like going to sleep, you know,
Mm-hmm.
so we split up, or use your imagination. Imagination is the tool of the soul. It's your soul that you use. It's just called imagination, stupid world, and stupid interpretation of a beautiful imagination that is actually the soul, the energy of a soul that you can use to do anything you want. And solidify it. Say that, you know what, it was in the past. I mean, it's still in my film of life, but I can cancel it. You know, I just cut it off. Hey, you know, my childhood is my childhood. That's it. I'm a grown woman. I have different understanding of things now. This doesn't affect me anymore. It just, I refuse. I refuse to feel effects because I understand what happened there. They tried to do this and this to me. Everything comes through understanding. You can cancel any effects through understanding and knowledge. And of course, you dug deeper into this, you know exactly what was hurting you in the childhood. And you just forget. Like, I forgot about, like, what my father used to do, you know? And I just
See,
know
with me, it's kind of a little different because I can't forgive him. I mean, he's a creep.
it's not about forgiveness. I know what you know, probably similar situation to me. That's why you came to me regarding stepfather or father. But for me, it's like I don't really know this person. I came to conclusion digging. I don't know this person. I mean, biologically, my body is creating using part of him, but my soul is not even connected by any means to that person. Why would I even bother and care? All they wanted to do is to agitate me and hurt me by using him in
Mm-hmm.
a system called Matrix. So just that's it. He has his life, I have my life, and it doesn't bother me. And I don't even feel like, oh, you have to forgive this and that. There's some strange system. Some person, some people think that this or that. All the stuff they say that forgiveness, it comes from the New Ages. New Age is a matrix system because they, of course, when they see people waking up, they're trying to scratch their head. Okay, wait a minute. All these people are trying to get out of our control. They're waking up. We need to create a fake system that is going to be called metaphysical, something like New Age. When they would just go into it, they feel like loved and in the group and the family, and they'll feed them off all the fake, understandings and belief systems we want. Just like that cue. Oh, this president's gonna save your life. Well, guess what? As long as you believe in any system or any particular person that's gonna save your life, you'll never believe in yourself. And
But I must say that there was a lot of truth to what that Q thingy posted,
always
and
tend
really like opened my eyes and set me on this path. So I am really grateful for that. Whether it's a psyop or not, I don't really care. But I think whatever they posted, I haven't read through all like 4 or 5 thousand posts, but I read through like maybe 1,000 of them and trying to verify them within the matrix, of course. And that kind of, made sense to me, about all these nefarious groups and what they do and these awful parties when they, satanic rituals. And I mean, I can't really go into this, like anything that kind of touches on child abuse. That affects me too much emotionally. I can't read about it. Like I can sense almost that, okay, this is going into those dark areas and I have to just put it away and turn my attention to something else, because otherwise I just can't sleep for a week, just have
yes,
this
no,
thing on
get it.
my mind.
Yes, yeah. Well, the thing is about every information can be used in our the same like internet and everything we can use in our benefit. All right.
Hmm.
And anybody who they always have to tell you at least 10% of truth in anything. So I mean, those stages, I try to make myself convinced that believe in angels, but then my mind, and because it's connected to my soul, totally refused to study chakras, totally refused to study the names of the angels, what they're responsible for, even though I was pressured by others. And I'm like, well, there's something wrong with it. If I don't want something to learn, that means it's just not true for me. And then
Yeah.
you dig deeper, and of course you're thankful to all the people you met in life. Like I created a group for Alba Weinman on Facebook, Alba Weinman Hypnotherapy Support Group. I'm still general administrator on it, and I'm grateful for her. But she believes in angels. But I'm grateful that I had to go through some stuff to understand what I believe, what I don't believe. Because if you don't study your reality in all the interpretations of it, you would not know what is actually true for you.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
It,
So, like in my case,
your
so 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 he- so I told you what I want, right? Like I want to be able to remote view. Uh, like some people are so great at it, right? Like I watched one guy who was, they approach it blind, so they don't know. They're given like a set of numbers, right? And just describe what you're seeing. So his target was the Golden Bridge, right, in San Francisco. I mean, the guy sketched everything in the bridge and the city and the water, I mean, everything. And here I go, with a moderator, right, for my session, and I am to view the mountain and some stream, and I can't see anything. I'm just totally guessing. totally guessing.
Right.
Like, yeah, I think there is maybe a mountain. Oh yeah, I'm gonna say there is a mountain, you know. But it's not like I can actually see it like some of you guys can. You know, you close your eyes and you can see the freaking lab.
But it's fine. Imagine if everybody could do the same thing. That's the idea about the variety. That's the idea about the soul's strong points, strong functions, strong DNA. You know, DNA is kind of like the ability. You have some abilities in this, others in those. Some people do good with languages, others with math. I'm totally zero in math, okay? I cannot do it, even at the child's level. So only the basics. And at the same time, I close my eyes, I see everything in colors and everything, but it's not, it's a misconception. You know, think about it. Everybody wants to make money in this matrix to survive. So they would tell you, oh, come to my courses, take my course, anybody can remote view, I'll teach you how. And and the truth is, not everybody can. I mean, if I really wanted to lie to people, I would say everybody has to take a session, do a session with me to find out. No, not everybody. Some people don't. Like you wrote this thing, you canceled everything. I mean, I kind of feel it from you that you actually don't. And you see, it was your thing inside. You felt and you followed your feeling that you just needed to talk to me. And through talking, you get a confirmation. That's all you need. Because we're structured that way. That's another huge program. We need to confirmation from somebody else who we respect, to think that knows better than us or has some abilities that we don't have, to confirm that we did something right and that it works. And that's a good thing. And now you feel more confident that it actually did. And the more confident you feel, the more trust and belief you have in yourself, and everything starts working better for you. And it actually, you know, like puts a big plus and like stamp in your mind, your energetic stamp of your own soul, that hey, I did it by myself, look how great I am. Sometimes you just need that. You know what I mean?
It's not about greatness. Well, I don't want to live in this matrix. Then how do I you know,
Don't.
if I am not the remote viewer, if I don't have any psychic abilities, I mean, how am I going to? I just can't live my life like that. Like knowing what I know now and knowing what's out there. I just can't imagine myself just following the life I followed for almost 50 years. That's gonna kill me.
But the thing is, some people just know, some people just feel. Like, you know, like you said, gas can be feeling that you interpret as gassing. And also I noticed you, like, you watch a lot of people and you're fascinated by others. It's a stage. I went through the stage, okay? I was, imagine, doing sessions twice a day, sometimes 2 sessions in a row, and I was getting so tired. Was this woman who was a regressologist. She was in the session, she had a client and I was a telepath, because a client could not see, feel, or whatever, like you. And I was doing it for the client. And then I was not even trusting what I was saying. And then I would ask the client, does it confirm? And she's like, you even saw the color of my dog and the breed of my dog. And like, I do talk to my garden vegetables, like you said. I remember this guy saying, like, I said that he was talking to tomatoes, and I was thinking, what in the world am I saying? Like, lying there, my mouth is saying, and my mind is telling you, you're imagining things. And then he confirms that. And then by doing like sessions all this year, I actually proven to myself by talking to clients afterwards that I can really see, and what I say is truth. And that's how you gain confidence. Most of
So how do I get to that stage?
strong, you have to get through experiences. You have to start trusting yourself on little things. You know how I started like manifesting like parking spots? Like I
Yeah,
and
everybody talks about it.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, but it was a long time ago, because I listened to some guy who said, like, you can do that. And for some reason, that thing made me believe, and got to the point that I started programming my mornings. How
Okay.
family members, what they would do, how they would react, how would I make my breakfast, my coffee, my everything.
So you like woke up, you laid in your bed. Like tell me the process.
I actually, before I fall asleep, I just like imagine how the next day is gonna be,
Okay.
and I program it the same way, and I always like make sure that everybody's gonna be calm, and just the day is gonna be perfectly calm. And then when people like freak out about little things, and then they apologize, which is hysterical because I programmed to be a calm day, and out of the blue they start, oh, sorry, I reacted that way. you know, about the hot stove or whatever. It's just
Hey,
little.
that's fascinating. That's fascinating.
Yeah, yeah. And I think that stuff started happening exactly when it clicked with me. Deep, deep belief in subconscious that I can actually control my reality. And I could not do it before. Before I used to do the like a mantra, I can control my reality, repeating 100 times every day, or
And then
putting.
I think about something else and
Yeah, yeah, it doesn't work. No, no, no,
doesn't
no.
work.
You have to go through a physical experience to prove to yourself at a deep subconscious level that actually it works. Look, I did it. I wanted that, and it worked. I got it. And then, the
So
not.
how to do it? So teach me the steps.
Just little things. Like
Okay.
I started believing that everything I need at a certain time just easily comes to me, and it just comes to me from above. And I started getting like in Chicago, I would go to the beach with kids, and I met this beautiful like man. He's from Mexico, and he was selling ice cream. And every time I would forget the money, or that
Hmm.
app wouldn't work. Sometimes it wouldn't work for some reason without Wi-Fi, whatever. He would just give me free ice cream and trust me to give it like money to him next day or a week later. And then he would not even take the money the next day, which was weird. But then I realized, I'm thinking, what did I do? And I'm thinking, wait, it came from a belief because I started getting free stuff. Because my friend told me, well, if you post the pictures of your kids on Instagram, I know how it works, trust me. And I know that she's doing all kinds of stuff. I trusted her completely. For some reason, we have a program of trusting others more than ourselves. So she created my Instagram. She posted the pictures of my photos on Instagram and said, guess what? One of the companies is going to see your pictures and going to send you free stuff for your kids to wear. You'll take pictures of them. That's how you're going to pay them. You're not going to use actual money. Next thing I know, Hang Ten was from Los Angeles or San Francisco, I don't remember. I think it's California. Contacts me and asks me, so the kids' ages, would you mind if we send you free sunglasses and they could wear them? You take cute pictures of them and send it to us. We'll post it on our website. I said, sure. They sent me the whole box of those. And that's how it started working because I'm thinking, how did that happen? And then, well, because I trusted my friend, whom I really trust, because she's genius, she's smart. And then I started thinking, well, if that works because I trusted her, how about I created this thing that she started a trend that's always gonna work for me, that I'm gonna get new stuff. Sure enough, everywhere I walk, I get free stuff. I have no idea how that happens. I mean, others don't. I'm not offered that, but I am. And I just created a pattern. It's like you have your own computer,
Okay.
create software programs in your life through your belief system
Hmm.
that is gonna work. Like I believe that we're gonna move from Chicago to Florida when the time is right. And I became calm about it. When I was frustrated that we weren't moving on time as I thought we would, it would actually stop even moving in that direction of moving. When I just forget about it, I know we're gonna move. I see myself there. I know exactly the apartment I saw, exactly the way I wanted it to be, I got. Out of the blue, the man showed up, the new realtor, you know, and he was like, just like, no big deal. Everything was no big deal for him. And actually it happened because he was relaxed, I was relaxed, I trusted in him. And he's like an old guy with experiences, everything works out, always was me, believe me. And I did. So it's kind of when you become at ease with yourself in life, everything kind of goes well. But you have to get to that point, and you cannot fake it. This reality scans and reads your energy every second of your life. And according to that stuff, I can tell you like things like we went on vacation once to Miami. I was very frustrated. That vacation, nothing went right from the beginning. And at the end, all the energy of frustration, you know, and I love the ocean. I go to the ocean, big waves, I step on a fish hook. How in the world, like everybody say they don't even believe me. I was transported with the baby attached to my breast, breastfeeding from stress because I was screaming from pain. Imagine how fish hook was triple
No.
into your foot, into your bone and everything. On that truck, you know, the lifeguard uses on the open truck directly to Miami Hospital's emergency room. The woman shows me the box of hooks, says, it happens every week, but you're a lucky one. What? Like, you know what I mean? And then I noticed, I'm thinking, that's gotta be a pattern. Because every time I keep frustration inside and I don't speak about it, something happens to me. And even if it's about family members that I'm worried about, I accumulate it inside. It's just something I do. And then I release it through something bad happened to me physically. So I understood that. My experience with Archangel Raphael was, you know, the guy who was doing root canal started drilling the wrong tooth for root canal. And that's when I understood, archangels, bye bye. I totally refused to believe in you. It was years ago. I don't remember. It was years ago. For yeah, because I mean, everybody, new agers, were trying to convince me you just have to ask for help and it'll come. My help was coming in the worst ever imaginable, you know, accidents happening to me. And then I said, screw it. I refuse any help. I only trust into myself. And something happens when you get mad and angry for a second and said, like, from now on, me, only me. You can tell me, anybody can tell me anything to do. And in physical life, you know, somebody tells me outside, Molly, you have to do this, or it happens to you. I said, you know what? I don't see any rules about this outside. I mean, and then a person backs off right away because they see that they cannot manipulate me, because the reality would always try to manipulate you, you know, and then you develop this confidence and the low vibrational people just never approach you anymore. I always deal with all the people who love animals because my kids love animals, I love animals. Everywhere we go, and I noticed if I have somebody else with me, then those people would still come, but not in big numbers. And the I can control actually the other people around me now. I got to that point because if I, no matter what they say or try to agitate me, I'm calm and say everything's gonna be just fine. And then at some point I see my family members start apologizing that they're not calm as me. And they say, you understand why I wasn't calm. I was like, you know, it but
That takes a humongous effort though, you know. Um I, like I now slowed down maybe, or quieted myself some, but I yell at my kids, and I don't want to yell at them, but they just don't listen. So then the perception is that all I do is yell at the kids, because even those family members around me, they don't hear me when I ask 5, 6 times, but they hear the seventh time when I finally yell, right? So um and I'm trying to find ways, right? Because I don't want to yell at them. That's not the point. I want you to listen to what I'm saying, right? If I'm asking you, did you do your homework? Just answer me yes or no, right? No, I have to ask 6 times, and the 7th time I'm just running there. Did you do your homework? Yes. I said, why didn't you answer me? I don't know.
They develop. They don't hear us. It happens to my kids too. But you know, there's an explanation of that.
Mhm.
I see every time they're in their world, as we say, and don't hear, their soul is actually above their body. It's not in the body. That's why they don't hear, don't answer, because the focus of their attention, kids are more so than us. They're flying somewhere in their world. Like, my daughter can be just like, she has the whole imagination thing going on because she really sees from early age. At the age of 2.5, she just was at the dinner table eating soup. Said, Mama, I'm going to draw you. She was always drawing well. Here's the house. There were a lot of kids, big screen. There was funky looking aliens. And they said, which mom do you want for your life this time? And we were all like peeking, and she drew like clouds. She said, Mom, it's right above the clouds. It's really that we just not allowed to see that level, but that's how the souls come down. And I picked you because I said, why? Because I liked you. You look beautiful. That's all she said. And then she started saying, like, this guy has a snake on his head and things like that, or this man is bad. Or my youngest would say like a name of a person. See, they have different abilities. That's why you can't compare yourself to others. My youngest would say, well, this old grandma's is called, her name is Maya. And she would say that out loud, and the grandma almost fell down at the lobby of our building that day. She goes with this German accent, yes, my name is Maya. How do you know? I just moved into this building. She's like, 3-year-old cannot know.
That's
But
amazing. See, I don't think I have any of that.
yeah, well, that's the explanation, because we yell because, we all went through this as parents. Okay, it's just the truth. We get frustrated. But the explanation is like, once I see, okay, your soul is not even in your body, you're not gonna. So when I get to the physical, like eye to eye, like, okay, answer my question and get down from there. And then once they get down, they actually answer.
Can
Yeah,
you see? Can you see the soul?
I feel it. I feel it goes into the
You
body.
feel?
Feel the energy. It's like, it shocked me back then when I saw my mother, like her body, but her soul was not in. She was dead. And I'm like, this is not my mother. This is the weirdest feeling. You just see that it's a metallic core almost. It looks kind of human, but it's like rubberized doll. And only soul makes it alive. And the same thing when kids play into their game and they're repetitive about things, it doesn't mean that they are like doing something crazy. Like my oldest used to spin things, but he was also traveling at that point. And it doesn't mean he's autistic. He's perfect. He's in first year of university. He's fine.
My son used to do that too. Anything that's pain, anything.
Because
Oh my God.
life is a circular thing, and the time is circular. And when you spin, it's like the way your DNA spins, the way your energy spins. When I close my eyes, totally relax. You know what? I was like you before. I mean, when I woke up
Mm-hmm.
back in whatever year it was, so long ago. Yeah, I used to meditate. I got to the point when I would meditate for an hour each time, and my body started going this, and
Mm-hmm.
I hit the wall with my head because it was going so crazy. And then I'm thinking, there's something wrong with this. The next week, what happened to me, I started getting, like they say that Kundalini awakening. I started going like the electrical waves started going through my body, like shoo, shoo,
Mm-hmm.
day day and night. It's like somebody zaps you with electricity, imagine, high voltage each time. And it would never stop. Even at night, I couldn't sleep, and I had like, she wasn't even 1 year old. It says poor connection again. Do you hear me?
Yes, yes.
And that was the point when I found Alba and signed up for a regression session, because all I could find online, you have to find out, you know, what's happening to you through regression session. I had no idea if I could go into trance, but it's me. I always go for something I don't know. I just like blindly usually. And that Kundalini, I mean, that snake, why do you think they say snake, Kundalini? Because that snake is in every sign. It's a medical sign. They're trying to tell you that snakes are in control of the world, don't they? The snake did something to us to change our DNA, and now we're dependent on the system they created for us, because we're separated from that original Earth that had Eden everywhere, where there was no matrix system. We didn't need money. We could just grab an apple from the tree and eat it, and walk around and sleep on the grass because it's always warm. There was no winter. But it's just like hints. They need to give us hints, as you know. Everybody talks about it too. But I think you're gonna go every time you have an impulse to connect to somebody, that's for a reason. Your soul gives you that impulse. Every information, even if you think you know it, still gives you a boost of understanding. And because I noticed it about myself from before, every single thing pushed me towards something. I didn't want to start my own channel. I thought that I couldn't. I was too weak about it, and I didn't really like directly talking to people before session after. I figured, I'll just work for this woman forever as a telepath. And the situation happened that I absolutely had to go, because I discovered she was not telling me the truth about a lot of stuff, and that was my soul's working for me, telling me, hey, you've got to go. That's how you grow. Otherwise, you are not going to do. You're not going to grow. So we push. And I'm so grateful it actually happened. It was super hard the first year. It was super hard because I get attached to a certain way of doing sessions, but then I took a course and it was fine. I mean, I started doing, and then I was looking back and thinking, like, why was I so scared of that?
Mm-hmm.
Just like I'm grateful the situations in my life push me to do different stuff all the time, or experience different situations, solve different problems, because I always analyze. I go back in my mind. You can use your memory and thinking, like, wait, what did he say? What did she say? How did I behave? What did I say back? Like, and feel the energy about that person. That I see the energy. I see how that person is. It's literally like the reptilian goes into that person, or somebody's behind, like, people usually who don't see clearly the entities, they say, oh, there's a shadow. And then I look, oh, that's a shadow of reptilian, gray, or whatever, but
I want that.
is in dark energy first. At first, some people block themselves from seeing by being scared of seeing some bad entities, like, that happens too. Some people block themselves by not believing, and they keep repeating, I don't believe, or I make stuff up, or I just feel I don't have any abilities. It just never works, or whatever. You can block yourself because remember what we deeply believe in, but also just get used to the fact that your physical body is the biggest filter. uh, you have your special DNA given to you by both parents, and it's a physical DNA, okay, physical body. Sometimes it just blocks your abilities that your soul has.
Can
And
you unblock it?
no, your physical body is created that way. I cannot uncreate your physical body.
But can you like
We're
go into
supposed
my
not
memories and
be.
see if anything is blocked there at least?
Maybe you're just supposed to know and analyze stuff, and by analyzing, figuring yourself out from inside and outside, and apply it to situations, and work on yourself this way. Because a lot of people don't see, like we have different abilities. That's the what you know that's the variety of this world. It's all about the variety. Just the way the system is created, it's like a pile of software programs, and we're on this hard disk is the core of earth, which is, that's why people, some people see it flat. It's not flat, it's a lot of hard disks, and there's software on each one, and it goes into a big circle. So basically, both sides are correct. It's flattened, but it's also round. So which one? And it's also breathing like a cell and gets flatter, rounder. It goes different shapes depending on vibration of the people as antennas, creating, shaping it up. So, I mean, basically, I mean, even used to listen to some of the channelings of so-called angels or Bashar or whatever because he's manipulated by the group of entities. But by listening to him, I'm thinking, okay, let me figure out how they're trying to manipulate the minds of humans who are listening and believing that it's information coming from higher source. What are they trying to do to us to make us believe in what? And what is the purpose of it?
Mm-hmm.
That's an exercise for your mind, also in your soul and feeling, to connect to yourself. And this sounds awfully wrong. That feels wrong. And why are they doing? Because they want us to manipulate into this and that. Because they want us to believe in something, and so as a collective consciousness, we change the dynamic, and therefore the energy, the vibration, and we go in different direction, different timeline. Maybe that's why.
Well, see, the difference then between you and me is that you can feel it. I can't. I can watch, oh, that's interesting, right? And then I move on to something else. It evokes absolutely no feeling in me. Actually,
Logical, maybe.
I think like gullible. I am gullible because like I actually kind of believe kind of everything, right? And at the same time, I don't believe anything. So it's like it's crazy.
You're at the stage, you're at the point of collecting information. I went through this point. There's going to be a point when you're going to be, it's enough. It's like if you eat ice cream every day, at some point you get sick.
Yeah, I think I'm nearing that point. Yeah.
Well, that's probably why you came to me, because at some point I stopped listening to anything. Right now, I don't listen to anybody. I absolutely nothing. No
But because you
information.
discovered your abilities, so you know what your abilities are. You can talk to other ETs, right? You see other worlds. You can space travel or whatever.
I don't.
See, I can't do any of it.
Yeah,
I
well,
don't even know if this is true, like I have to totally trust the information that I get from you or from other super soldiers, from James Ring, that yeah, there is a base on the moon, for example.
yeah.
Like I have myself absolutely no proof or not a shred of evidence or a sign that it's true, right? Like everybody says, oh, there are these underground bases, right? Or these catacombs, tunnels. The childrens are, smuggled there, kept there, tortured, eaten, whatever. Is it?
Well,
I can prove it. See, that's the thing. It's just my total trust in this information that it is true.
right, but use your logic. Maybe you're just logical person. Maybe your left
I
side of
am
the
very
brain,
logical. I am very left-brained.
see, left brain. And then use your logic. That's your strengths. You discovered
But I
strength.
want to shift.
But did you see, I mean, not everything in this world is fake. Do you see how many children disappear? Literally
Of
disappear.
course. Yeah.
Well, where do you think they're going?
Yeah, I know.
Well, that thus it should be true what they're saying about children being smuggled, trafficking,
Right.
and
Right.
people from the Matrix who don't believe in the stuff I believe in, say watch out for your kids, you know, because you know, kids disappear every minute in the US, and they're
Yeah.
sold off or whatever. So use your logic. Then you're just logical person. You have to accept that fact, and when you accept it, then you actually grow in your consciousness, because you can logically connect the dots. And you know, if
Right, yeah, so that's how I've gotten into this point in my journey, but now I want more, right? Like I want to shift my perception to the stuff I can't see with my physical eyes.
I don't know, I have
So,
a lot of people who just come for a session, and they have you know, they do, you can do half session, whatever, and you have your questions, and they get answered. They connect to your soul, and your soul answers, gives you answers. But then the thing is, the funny thing is, they usually tell me, oh, that's exactly the answer I was given to myself, but I didn't trust myself. I thought I was just making it up. But you
okay,
know, that conversation we have with ourselves, it's our, when you relax, like we're about to fall asleep and analyzing something, in your case, it's usually that your soul in that relaxed state answering your questions. And maybe that's the way you should go, and because your soul knows it's all. I usually tell my kids, just imagine your life. Don't base it on anything you've seen before. What do you want in your life from what you've seen today? Do you want to live in this area, in this house, and house like that? Do you want to have, like, oh, I want to have a farm filled with animals, but how much does it cost? And I'm like, no, that's a matrix tells you how much does it cost. If you want it, you imagine it, and it will come to you, because guess what? I show them, I have books that I read before, and on the back of the book I would write, so I want to have this many children. My first child is gonna be a boy, then a girl, and then I wrote, and then I thought maybe I want two more. And then I wrote in another book, and it happened exactly. I even drew pictures. I'm walking around with double stroller. It was exactly the way, the same double stroller I got later, years later. So I mean, this stuff, if you just like write, relax and forget, but still have a picture in your mind without pressuring that picture. That's how it happens. It's just magical. Basically, everything I imagined I wanted happened, came true. But I started trusting my soul, and I was just talking to my friend, telepath, and she said, just, Oksana, you're doing the right thing. That's how it works. She's proven it to herself through her experience also. You just have to relax and see how it works out, because your soul knows the ways you cannot logically figure out. I just go with the flow of that. Sometimes you need to act, other times you need to be focused on. Right now is the time in life for everybody, actually. You have to keep calm and focused. That information that you collect, they'll be endless, believe me, because until the very end of your day, people will be talking, producing videos, and you try to grab it all, and you'll always like consume, 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 but nothing is left over in your head, really, behind it. It's interesting to listen to it, spends your time, but at the end of the soul, does it really give you understanding of your own self?
see, so that's the thing that I don't want to just listen, you know? I mean, if this information is not going to benefit me in any way, I don't want to waste that's a waste of time, right? I'd rather spend that time meditating on doing something.
Yeah.
So I know we have a few minutes left. We can, you know, we don't have to use up the 2 full hours, but do you think you can use within this session, you know, some of your abilities on me? I don't know in what capacity. I mean, whatever you feel like telling me. Maybe you can unblock some memories. Maybe you can tell me about where I come from or something, or what I should do going forward.
Well, you have this, you don't know how I see you. I see your, like, the glow goes from, so this is my left, right? The way I see you goes like the glow It goes like this. So it's your left side is glowing, which you confirmed, and I felt it too. You know, that's your logic ability, which is great because you have like 45, 48 balance in between subconscious and conscious mind, which is good because you go hand in hand, pretty much balanced, very much balanced, you know, in your understanding of things. But that gathering of information, it's like I see you walking away from it, and you periodically feel like you're overwhelmed with information. That's the problem. And then in that you forget about focusing on the being quiet in yourself. It's basically, I feel like your mental body, sometimes you overthink, and then when you overthink, emotionally you get like heavy, tired of that overthinking. What you have to do is you have this thing, you have this suit, you have this interesting flowers made out of crystals, and you constantly like go to them and look inside of them and look at your life. It's like an interesting planet. It's got the green and pink colors kind of blended, and you go there and you look into flowers because you want to know more about yourself. And it's frustrating for you because when your soul goes, you get information, but you go into physical body and you cannot put it into the brain, because the brain is like doesn't I just can't do it. And there's just some yellowish, kind of like yellowish looking energy. It feels like it comes from some, it's like a male or some like I feel like a male energy, like a man, or made to believe something about yourself that you actually believed, that you cannot do something early in your childhood. That's what I want to say. And then you feel guilty a lot of things you do, or the way you spend time or do things. There's deep down, like, I don't do it right, or I don't have enough time, or I waste time. That's what comes to me, because now you're just like pulling it out, and that connection of knowing is kind of reconnects, even though, see, the left side is very active, that's why it's glowing so much. It's kind of like a light bulb that are overpowering the other light bulb, because it's bigger, it's brighter, it works overworked, kind of. You just need to be reminding yourself to be calm and focused on yourself, not more like outside information, but it's time actually to focus on yourself. It doesn't mean that you have to dig for information. It just means that you need to control your emotions, what you say, feelings, and start saying things calm way, because your energy is kind of interesting. It's similar to mine. When I before I started like doing what your soul is suggesting to you now, my energy was like sparks all over me, like in multiple directions, but you have to learn to focus them on inside of yourself. And then, because that information is not really needed for you to grow, you know, all this information, super soldiers, by the way, your soul saying, and I know it too, that super soldier is a program, you know, and they're trying to grab people's attention too. And then once your attention is grabbed, that's a way to draw your energy out of you also. So multiple channels have kind of like entities who handle the channels, and also get energy from those who view the channel and believe it, or interested, or get hooked up. It doesn't mean that you shouldn't be watching, you should be afraid. You should never be afraid. Like, you know, nothing ever happens to you. You can do what you want, but I'm just saying that whenever you see some codependency or just like interest goes overboard with some topics, it's kind of it's time to stop. You just I gave you information about some things, and you travel a lot, but it's just that it's almost like you do block yourself because you got frustrated. There's like an energy of frustration, and I do feel it. And also sometimes you analyze yourself and you feel like you cannot do anything. You're frustrated with yourself. You don't feel at ease with yourself. And that causes the whole spiral. It's like constant spiral of energy, chaotic movement, but you have to focus it into one spot. And your, by the way, your meditations, I feel like you shouldn't be just sitting. You should be walking or doing something like this. Like, you know, enjoying something active. Like some people run, some people jog, some people whatever, but I don't feel like it. Yeah, I feel like you can walk. You will enjoy. You probably something you enjoy. Walking and looking at beautiful things, so that's meditation too. You don't, it's a misconception, another one that tries to sit down and expectations. And guess what? All those entities that or aliens that show up to you, it can be very low vibrational beings who are trying to hook up to you, but they can shape shift into beautiful somebody, absolutely beautiful angelic looking being, but that's just a hologram, or that's just an image. It's technology they use. And that's how people get you know, invaded by an entity. That's when you start you know, they start manipulating your mental emotional health, your bodies. You start getting into crazy situations, your life goes a weird way, you know, or you just get agitated or nervous or whatever. I mean, there's so many ways they can manipulate you in your life. I mean, that's why when you say that I talk to aliens, I never call on aliens, because when you call an alien, it's like a whole call of help for them in a way, and that's bad. Because by calling them, I give them permission to enter my energy sphere. And my energy sphere is my home, and nobody is allowed to enter my home. This is only my energy, me, and I am the one who is in charge of everything. Because your energy expands to your life. Unless you are married and you co-creator with somebody, then you have to get to the same solution together. Otherwise, you cannot change your life. If you're alone, then you can create your life by yourself. You don't. Entities are very dangerous. You know, that's why I only connect to my own self. If I want information, I connect to Oksana, who is a merman on Series B, or I connect to Oksana, who is on Series A, a scientist. Or I connect to Oksana, who is the monkey with the suitcase, who's also a scientist planting the world. You know what I mean? And I know that's my energy, that's part of me, and I can trust it. Nobody's
See,
fooling.
I know it, right? Like if I am trying to connect, like who I connect to, right?
Oh no, I just feel it like it's part of me. It's almost like I have this actually I'm a teacher also, like a wise man, and one of the people on YouTube we used to do sessions with, she saw me at this wise man on Sirius. And she said, "Oh, you were teaching me in school." And I come to myself as a wise man sometimes too. It depends what question I ask to myself. One of me comes, and you know what I do? There's the method. I touch and I check on DNA, and I feel that's my DNA. I know it. When I touch a beautiful, like some beautiful somebody shows up, as you know, they blue eyes, white skin, whatever, like they always draw, And oh, you want to talk to them? They're Pleiadians. That's right. I touch it, and I, with my mind, I want to see your true, who you are, without any of these masks. Bingo, he turns into a reptilian, the beautiful somebody, because I touch and I look into the eyes, because the eyes are the window of a soul always, and the touch, you feel the DNA, and you know, you restructure that being into. That's what my kids do. They see a bird in their dream and they touch it. Sometimes they have those dreams when they can control, you know, and then they, oh mom, it always turns into reptilian, because they're trying to trick you into something, to agreeing some contract, and to walk into your energy sphere, hook up to your, you know, energy, and start doing stuff to you, and start implants and all this stuff.
As they say, I can't see shit, you know, so
But
I don't see
feel,
anything.
do you feel
I
extreme
don't
pain in
feel
your,
anything. See, that's another thing.
feel extreme pain in your body? Or if you stand in the kitchen and hear dangling in your din 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 in your ears, or pressure on top of your head, what you do is you say, I refuse any influence on me. I know, guys, you're trying to do something to me, but I absolutely refuse it. And then it stops. That's all you need to know. You don't need to see. You need
Okay.
to know the how to deal with it, because matrix would always, entities would always try to come to you, do something to you. And like people go, oh yeah, it's din din din, it's my vibration has changed or something. It's all nonsense. They're just trying to do something to you by using their technology, sending waves to your head, and all bad thoughts start popping up, and you're like, it's not my thought, right? Well, then stop it. Tell them, stop your nonsense. I know you're using some technology on me. These are not my thoughts. I refuse. Don't say not, I do not agree. Say, I disagree. I refuse any influence. You know, stay away from me. I'm a creator being. I create my own reality. Hmm?
That's it.
Yeah, that's it. That's, that's a good ending. 56
Thank
minutes.
you very much. You know, it was a pleasure talking to you.
Yeah.
I don't know. Should I continue? I just I don't know what I should be. Should I be doing anything actually?
Re-listen
Just
to
give
the
me some
recording.
words of wisdom. I want to feel like a hamster on a spinning wheel.
No, you just go with the, you know, refuse to be in the spinning wheel and say that I'm just going very calmly,
Okay.
because I'm guarding my mental, emotional body.
Okay.
I'm going out of control.
All
If
right.
I feel like yelling or being frustrated, just stop yourself there. Okay, wait a minute. I'm getting frustrated. I'm gonna change it. I want to change it. I'm gonna calmly come up to the person, look into their eyes, and calmly say, hey, you have to answer my question, please. You know, did you do homework? Or, you know, things like that. I mean, it's hard to change yourself, but I did change myself. I tell people it's not magical. It took me 2 years to change some of my programs too, and they come from childhood. It's
Yeah.
not a one-day thing. It's not a thing that you can pay somebody and talk to him or her and they'll change you. No, no, no. It's like your job. We that's a huge program of the Matrix, to rely on somebody to do stuff for us.
I don't want to rely on anybody. Yeah. I don't want to be programmed. It's like I refuse. Like I don't want to be a program in a matrix and somebody, presses a button and then I react a certain way or I do certain things. I don't want to be doing that. So tell me, because I know we are at the time. Thank you very much. To, would I benefit? Like, would you suggest any of your services for me? Like, do you think I would benefit of scheduling a session with you? Like, I can't even think what right now, right? But
Session, I would just go to the first point before your life,
okay,
tell you, you know, how, whether it was your decision to come here, how many lives you have, do you have any clones, or do you have they ever taken your DNA to create hybrids? What
mhm,
programs are involved if you were? Why you're so gravitated towards SSP? Maybe you were involved in some programs and you got disconnected. What I mean, there's so many things, but it takes time, and it takes, you know, I get connected to people before the session if I know a session is coming, and I start feeling already. But with you, I feel very light. So it's probably just the information for your knowledge, what you've been doing before this life, and you know. I feel like you had just like a few lives before this life. It wasn't this many, that's my feeling is. Like before 20, I got 15 in my head constantly going when I'm looking at you. But you know, but what are those lives? You know, what
Okay,
they're
and you can go back and actually see them and connect to them, or
yeah, we can see like because you're in the center of the wheel has spokes, and now those are connected to each life, and they're all running together like the hamster. You're inside the wheel, and there's things of the wheel are just all your lives influencing you too. So
okay,
we can cancel some events of some of the lives and would make a difference. I mean, maybe there's some lives that outside of this artificial universe that
okay,
also influencing you. And
okay.
then I can look in the future too, and on this timeline, because you know timeline is always changing. But according to your vibration in the now, I can
Mm-hmm.
feel what's gonna happen. Like unless you change your decisions, and then you 5 minutes after the session you can change your vibration, your decision. I'll be total different timeline, so it's not guaranteed. So none of those fortune tellers or whatever they are, you know, they tell you ahead of time. They just pick one of the most probable timelines according to your vibration. Now, you believe in it because this woman knows how to predict the future, and by believing, you keep
Yeah,
following that particular timeline. You understand how it works?
yeah. So tell me, how long is the session? How much it costs? And
Oh, let me turn this off, and I think I